Well, hello, my beautiful. I hope you are well. Let me know if the music is too loud for you. I can always turn it down. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. We're on book duty today in our little book club. We've got HB's book, the book that shall not be named. We're on chapter 2, so I invite you to tune in to chapter 1 if you need to get caught up after this. It don't matter if you review it, you can review it in whatever order you want, because it's all like what. I'm going to show you where I checked the source. What? HB? What in the world are you trying to pull? Come on, please. Y'all, I'm so glad we are doing our homework. All right, I'm going to come over to chat. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. Let me just tell you a little bit about it. We're on chapter 2. I've got a lot of notes. So it's going to talk about being in Brian's head and the exact words Brian was thinking. Yep. It's going to talk about not feeling good enough, And it's going to get into some very interesting details and some music. I thought I had a bug on me. I'm just going to show you stuff. That's all I got to say. We're going to start at the beginning. We're going to go paragraph, sentence by sentence. Let's get over to chat time. How are my beautiful, beautiful people? I love you, my 1111s. Hello, Jennifer Swain. Hello, lovely. Hi, Jenny Bill or I was going to say Jenny in Jennyville, but you are Jennyville now. Welcome. I imagine you're probably working hard to get me these, FBI sticky notes, right? Just saying. Hi, Annie's mom. Hey, Ro, how are you? Hi, Debbie, Wolf Angel. There's a lot in the house right now. So just hello, everyone. Welcome. Come in to the JLR hands. I do have a sore throat, so I swallow hard right now because it hurts. But I'm not going to give up on this. So Mr. HB decided to write a book before we go to trial for Brian Koberger, and he's making the claim that this is a true writing, that this is factually based, that it's factual. Well, I can write anything on the internet, and it'll be a fact that I wrote it. Like, let's say you and I decided to have a little conversation online that we saw Bigfoot, right? Well, if you wrote in your book and you were like, Mama D and the 1111 family said they saw Bigfoot, that's a fact. I did say that. Is it a fact I saw it? And what if you were reading it and you're like, oh, that's when me and you did that. But this person is claiming, oh, no, a person that's going to trial for their life wrote it. So he's going to be talking about a lot of stuff in here, and it's a lot to break down in chapter 2. I got a migraine for real. Wasn't even sure I was coming live today. My throat got sore. I'm like, you know what? I am not letting anything hold me back. I can deal with it for an hour. So we won't be on 2 hours today, but I welcome you. Hi, Kim House. What does he think this is factual? It is not. And my reasoning for buying the book is I thought I should take one for the team, put a little bit of our hard-earned money into a defense for those that are like, okay, a guilter just came up and said Brian said this or did this, and they said it came out of the book. You'll be educated and be able to come back and say, listen, he got that off Reddit. Oh, yeah. Okay? So let's just try to dig into this. Feel free to throw up comments as you would like. Hello, Kathleen Van Bogart. Hello, my beautiful. Now we have Once Upon a Crime Time with Tommy Jude coming on our panel with Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime, Rory, on July 9th. And I want to shout out to our beautiful Catherine because she helped get that and is still help getting everybody together. So I'm looking forward to that. And real quick before we get into the book, because I don't want to forget, just a shout out when we hit 30,000 subs, just put DVC giveaway. And this beautiful camcorder, digital, beautiful, 2 batteries, all kinds of good stuff, might be yours. And also, if you look on your screen, let's see, where is it? Right up here. See it? See it? My flashing finger. That is a change.org petition for Sandra Birchmore. We are at 2,674 today. 200. It's like 100 per day are signing it. Get that up, you guys. There's a video out there that shares her story. Make sure check it out, share it, and get people to sign this because one of you lucky winners is going to win a $100 gift card. Oh yeah, I think it's 125 because I was sent a little extra from our 1111 sponsors, which are basically our mods right now. A shout out to Jennifer Swain and Az and myself. We're throwing our money in to get that petition to get Sandra Birchmore's death petition. I told you my throat is sore. Up there for you guys. Okay, am I talking too loud? I am. Why do I always think I've got to be Betty Bullhorn? Let me back myself up. Just back it up, Buttercup. All right, my lovely Liz, let's get caught up and get into it. So chapter 2 of the book that shall not be named. Hi, my beautiful Sully Spirit. Sorry, you guys, just taking care of a few odds and ends real quick. I got a new sound system ordered. All right? Okay. Chapter 2. Now, this is a cold way to do this. I am not a professional book critic, but I do know this case pretty good. And this is going to test you in reading his book. How well do you actually know the case? All right. So I'm looking over here because I got the book. So he starts off talking about the tail end of July and riding shotgun in the passenger seat. And during that time, it talks about a very disruptive journey. And it really talks just basic, boring stuff. When we get to, and that's on 11. Now, when you get to page 12, he's pulling from the conversation that Brian's mother has spoken about on, I believe it was Reddit that she posted. So that's his source, is Reddit from the mother. He knows absolutely no one, and we have no family there. I worry about him being lonely. So it gets that in there. So they arrive in Pullman, and there's that moment where the neighbor comes out, and Michael takes that time to, we'll get to it too, that it's like somehow he's implying, the writer, the author is implying that Brian's father is guilt-ridden because he wasn't good enough as a janitor. And so he feels like Brian, this is his chance to make it. Even though he's already got he's already graduated. He's going for his PhD. This author feels like, he can't really feel like Brian's successful at this point. He talks about a lot of bankruptcy that Michael went through, which is verifiable and true. He talks about the second time they filed bankruptcy, having like $15 in cash. And just feeling guilty because, his son is graduated all these college courses and going for his PhD, and just feeling guilty because, I don't know. He never really says. He's just guilt-ridden. He believes that he may have laid like the groundwork for his son's turbulent, toxic youth. He talks about telling Brian, you need to get your act together. So he's flipping between being a teenager and a college student. But he returns back to this point on page 13, paragraph 2. He refers to feeling guilty for turning Brian in to the cops. Now, there's only one court record that we are aware of on Brian, and it was for the theft of his sister's phone. But the author brings it up again as if it's a second time, creating a false narrative that Brian has a criminal history and a past, in my humble opinion. But it's all based on the perception of the reader, really. Or if you had ever known that that was the only one. If you really follow up on the source and you verify that's the only charge. Okay. So he goes on to start talking about Brian specifically. Now, Brian has been in jail since December 30th of 2022. The only access that anybody has to Brian is basically through his lawyers. I highly doubt those lawyers talk to this author. But he makes a statement that Brian could feel nothing, like how Brian felt as he moved to Pullman, that he was absolutely numb and no attachments and had no problem disappointing his family and felt entitled and expected them to deal with it, in my humble opinion. And it wasn't something Brian chose to do. This was something beyond his control. And referred to mind frizzle and said that Brian called it mind frizzle. M-I-D or M-I-N-D F-I-Z-Z-L-E. Like, I did take a med for my throat because it's so sore, and it's got me a little off. All right. He goes into snow. Remember the Papa Rogers and the insider looking outposts on Reddits? Those are his sources for Brian's words and feelings and thoughts. Now, I have downloaded, and we're going to go over it very near future, Insider Looking Out, all the posts that well, not all, but 33 pages of posts, because I wonder if that isn't JD. When you read it, you might think that too, but I'm asking. But back to the book on page 13. He is absolutely taking this whole idea that he's got visual snow and describing what it is, like a television screen and a picture always fluttering. He's taken a Reddit post, and it was taking a toll. There's no doubt it was taking its toll on Brian as a teenager. His online posts, he's fact here, right? All right. So you don't need to know who wrote the post. If you believe it, you can call it fact. What kind of world is this? This is not factual. He does this little italicized thing. I'm going to go to 220 and just verify if it's his own thinking. You know how you got to do. Chapter 2, his sources are Michael Kohlberger sources. Okay. Kohlberger family sources. Reddit. See what I'm saying? False. You can't use Reddit as fact. Michael Kohlberger's bankruptcy records. Kohlberger family criminal records. Those you can use. Those are fact. It's like you couldn't discern between Reddit and bankruptcy things. He just lumped them all in that. It's all fact. Idaho statesman. Pennsylvania interviews. Just in the state of Pennsylvania, those interviews. The ones I did over there. Let me mark this because we got to come back to this because we got to look up this source. There's a couple. J. Reuben Appleman. While Idaho slept. Okay, put the book down for a minute. Let me get that up for you. Okay, I'll make it smaller. We'll switch over to a movie screen. And you can see what he literally is using as one of his sources besides Reddit. Okay. This book. Now, I've got the Amazon clipping. While Idaho slept, J. Reuben Appleman. The hunt for answers in the murders of 4 college students. He's quoting another book that actually doesn't claim to be fact, but claims to dive into asking a lot of questions. Now, I highlighted a section. As J. Reuben Appleman brings this terrifying crime into focus, he humanizes the 4 victims, examining the richness of their lives, dissects the mind, and motivations of their presumed killer, and explores a world of northern Idaho, a rugged, deeply conservative stronghold steeped with Christian values and American patriotism. So he uses the word presumed killer. Yeah. Because that lets you know as a reader that there's other people. We haven't proven it. It's just assuming it before, pre-assuming. But it hasn't been finalized. So that guy, I'm all right with him. I haven't read his book, but we might. However, to just go grab it and now make it fact. Just saying. Let's see what else he got here. So, Christian Martinez interview. Christian Martinez. So I looked up Christian Martinez. I could find only one person that it would even make sense on. He's a very young guy. He just got out of the military. He took an online course to become cybersecurity. It's the only one I could find. Don't know if that's him or not. Wouldn't doubt it. At least it's better than Reddit. So I'm coming up to chat now. What are you guys feeling at this point? Let me mark my spot because I'm going to read you what he says Brian said. And you tell me if he didn't get this off a Reddit post that he doesn't even know who wrote it. Intentional jury tainting, says Annie's mom, in my opinion. In my opinion, help him with the cover-up. You're not alone. And you could be right. MS Kim says, I can't fathom how the heck this book is even a thing before the trial at all. Hi, Sassy Fraz. Hello, my beautiful. Hello, Dreamweaver. We say, OMG. This Mr. B is just a quack and a half. Go away. You're just as ridiculous as this whole judicial system in the upside down town of Idaho. MS Kim says, yeah, but wouldn't that be too obvious? Again, it's mind-blowing, this damn book. Forsooth Investigation. Hello, lovely. Good to see ya. And Latoya Lewis, good evening to you, my beautiful. All right, here we go. I can read this part because it's a quote, so he don't own it. I feel like an organic sack of meat with no self-worth. I am starting to view everyone as this. Everything I have ever done makes no sense. How did things get this way? I always feel as though I'm not there, completely depersonalized. Constant thoughts of suicide, crazy thoughts, delusional of grandeur, poor self-image. He calls Brian in a high voltage stage, blaming his family for all of his misgivings in life. Another quote. As my family hugs and celebrates, I am stuck in this void of nothing, feeling completely no emotion, feeling nothing. I am dirty, like there is dirt inside my head. Goes on to say, I think about my father, what a good man he is, how I treat him like dirt because I have this condition and I can't take it. And then he says that Brian feels like he could do whatever he wants with little to no remorse. Now, I believe he got all this off of someone's Reddit post, because I've read all that. Not in this book. But if you go on and read all those posts, there's no proof it's Brian or anybody. You don't know who it is. Then he gets into the visual blizzard snow condition and talks about what the New York Post put out. So let me get it. Let me get it over here. Yeah, this one. We got to go back to movie screen, and I'm probably going to have to adjust it. Okay. Yeah, let me make it a little bit better for you guys. This is what New York posted. New York, oh, you still can't see it good. Hold on, y'all. We'll make it work for you. Okay. About like that. All right. So this came out in the New York Post. Did he list this as the we're back to 220? New York. Yep. All right, so here you go. This is where he got this from. The New York Post. Idaho murders suspect Brian Kohlberger allegedly Okay, let me shut my music down so you can hear it. Hopefully we don't get copied, but we're going with it. So, the New York Post says Kohlberger's alleged rap track, but boom, put it in the book. Fact. See how you do it? You take an alleged whatever, put it in here, put a cover on it. Now you got fact. If you're HB. So this is where he got it from. Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohlberger's alleged rap track I'm a devil. Okay? Accused University of Idaho killer Brian Kohlberger referred to himself as a devil in an angsty rap song he allegedly, do you see my cursor? Yes, allegedly posted online. Here are the words. Let me see. It has sound.
Always youth and stunning, always gentle giant, no defiance, all building a alliance, and still think that I am present. I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present. Keep it up, act like you're all that. Here's a cookie too and a present. Led from a desert eagle, Deagle's going louder than my motherfucking beagle. And your life you get no sequel. Leave your loved ones crying like some seagulls. You are not my equal, you are evil, but I'm feeble, and now I'm going regal. Don't with us.
All right, we're going to go back. Okay, yeah, that was the words.
My mind is pissed, and
let me turn the sound off. You are not my equal, you are evil, but I'm the devil. The artist muses towards the end of the Rise Up instrumental test, a track shared on SoundCloud 11 years ago under the username EXARR. In the wake of Kohlberger's arrest for the November 13th stabbing deaths of Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20, Internet sleuths pointed out the account is listed as belonging to Brian in Effort, PA, the alleged killer's hometown. EXARR also matches the email Kohlberger reportedly used to make cryptic posts on internet forums around the same period. The visual snow post on Reddit. You see where this is all alleged? But then he puts it in here and tries to tell you it's fact. In the week since Kohlberger's extradition from Pennsylvania to Idaho, listeners have been quick to draw comparisons between the song's morose lyrics and the grisly details of his alleged crime. Bro is definitely saying he's got issues, says a user. I don't know what that is. The lyrics sound as though he's predicting his future, one said. The melancholy rap also echoes, I'm sorry, y'all, my throat is so sore. Kohlberger's alleged post on Tap a Talk, a mental health forum, about his struggles with depression and visual snow syndrome, a neurological condition in which the sufferer's vision is obscured by static. At the time of his arrest, Kohlberger was a doctoral student in criminology at Washington State University in Pullman, just 15 minutes from the murder scene. He previously told a childhood friend, allegedly, I'm adding, that he hoped to counsel high-profile offenders. Through Kohlberger's defense, I'm telling you, my throat is sore. Through Kohlberger's defense, previously said that the Pennsylvania native was eager to be exonerated. He has not entered a plea for the four counts of the murder and additional count of felony burglary. All right? That's where he got that post. From the New York Times, where they quoted it all by saying and buffered it with alleged. And from a fellow true crime writer that is asking a lot of questions and saying maybe and could have, he turns it into what he calls fact. Dreamweaver says, let me get back over here. Yes, we all saw that a couple years ago, and that Legend Lee BK wrote it. Well, that came up slowly. Bo Roland, hello, lovely. OMG, for anybody that has ever listened to rap music wouldn't understand. They all talk like that and doesn't mean anything. So, let's get back into the book. because we got to make ground. We're only on page 15. How many days do we got to read this crap? We got like 5 more pages. We got to break through it. Okay. So you are not my equal. You are evil, but I'm devil, which made Dad grieve terribly that he wrote that. So he found a way to free himself from pain, and he went into heroin. And we do know that part is true, that he did have an addiction. He goes into rehab and, well, back up. Before he gets into rehab, he talks about a Jeremy Sabo who lived 2 houses down, that was a wild hair, and is the one that steered Brian and got him addicted to this drug. And then Sabo ends up dying of an OD. So then Brian turns to a friend named Ashley Flugel. Flugel. Ashley. ASHLEY. And this is a bouncy person from high school that gets him to become, quote, a junkie. Now, Ashley gets a really serious habit. And she also ODs right before her court appearance. So he decides it's time to get better, and he checks into a rehab. Apparently, according to the author, half-hearted gesture. So Brian warned his family, and it's in quotes, so I'm going to read it. Don't do anything stupid. So this is when all of a sudden he brings up this whole stealing of the phone again, right? But this time he goes into a little bit of detail, but he makes it sound like it's in addition to the first time that Michael had to call the cops. No, it's the same time. He goes into a little bit of it, and that's when he has to go in the program, the Monroe County program, to get help. And he's kicked the habit, and his record is expunged, according to the author. So he turns full vegan, and he goes into the story on page 17. So that was 16. This is 17, paragraph 1. He goes all into the story about this aunt that told us when Brian, and I think she's a lot of this from listening to you guys and then thinking about the interview. But he goes into the whole story about the aunt, how Brian had become so vegan that they couldn't use any pot that they'd ever cooked meat in, that they had to actually get new pans or he wasn't going to eat. Okay? So this transformation he goes into wasn't helping Brian, even though he's been through rehab. He wants to be a hot little number and all the girls to just be like, oh, Brian, in love with him. And so he goes in and Brian goes under the knife. And that is true. He did get surgery. And after surgery, after he does the surgery, he talks about friends that he's interviewed that allegedly knew Brian. One says, like, he was the smartest guy in the room. Now, we don't know if that's derogatory or like he was the smartest guy in the room or a compliment. We don't know. He never says, but of course he uses it as if it's sarcastic. He claims that a lot of his friends didn't like the new Brian because he would put down with them and he would hold somebody in a neck hold, a headlock, and prance around with them and make fun of them and act like he was, the life of the party and he's the victor to his friends. I'm telling you what the book says. We're on page 18, chapter 1. A woman named Dominique Clark says that he didn't like to hear the word no. He talks about the little Tinder date with Haley where she didn't like being tickled. And she said she had to go puke in the bathroom, pretend to puke so he would leave. And that he texted her good birthing hips. Then he goes into paragraph 4 on page 18. And all of a sudden now he's talking about arriving at Pullman and talking about how the neighbor happened to be out there. And Michael was like, you know, he has a hard time making friends. Maybe you could look out for him, you know, because my kid's not from here type thing, right? Cool, fine. But he states in here something that actually bodes well for Brian. And he says he knew Brian, this is from Michael's perspective, is that he knew Brian would keep to himself. So, I showed you his post was in New York where it said alleged. But he wrote it as if he knew for fact and provided the source. New York Post. All right, I went and got it. That ain't what it said, man. You can't misquote it and forget to add the words allegedly. No, that ain't how it works. We have to protect our freedom of speech by using it, by being accountable for the words we speak. We are not here to say, prove it. We can't be like, I can prove this. You could say, prove me wrong. Please do. But you can't say, I have proof, unless you have proof. Factual hard copy, handprint on the line, first-hand verification that will work in a court of law. That's proof. If it's not going to work in a court of law, it ain't proof. So you can't use proof in your title. You can't use, truth, fact in your book and be like, this is pure fact. It's a fact, yeah, that you shit in a box and put the word guarantee on it. Or that you just word vomited in a hardcover book and put the word truth on it. It's so offensive. This man is fighting for his life. You got a lot of Nancy disgracers out there, which I love her when she ain't doing Brian Kohlberger. But I do my research, so I know when she's absolutely full of shit. And when it comes to Kohlberger, she's kissing the ground that this author walks on because it fits her narrative. And that's the narrative she's walking. That McKay is guilty. He did it. Don't matter that you got all that crap about how he wants to be evil and a devil when he was 10 or 15 years old and writing dumb lyrics, how all the boys do. Don't tell him, that he was like a kid when he did it. And do you have proof that he wrote that? Why don't you use Reddit as proof that Bigfoot exists? Because I looked it up today, and if I go off Reddit, it's absolutely true. Bigfoot, promise you, fact. Because it's in Reddit. Don't you read Reddit? Wait, yeah, he's got Facebook as one of his... please. Can't. Leela says that is the way journalists work, especially with those who write science fiction. CS just came here to argue. Well, that's fine. We can argue about it. Genevieve Smith says, I am not a troll. Well, treat everybody with respect, but disagree all you freely would like. We are free speech here unless you take a derogatory remark towards the hostess or any of our 1111 family, and then we ain't messing around. You be gone. We keep it nice here. Debbie says this is not proof that this is not fact. This is to get BK convicted. I agree with you. In my humble opinion, I'm just saying. BK Rowland says, I agree. He pursued that degree when he had chances of giving up. Yeah. I think he was feeling pretty good about himself going in to be a PhD guy, right? Getting to grade papers, then be the teacher assistant. I think he felt pretty good getting his own place. Sassy says it's not her opinion. That was the problem at Dreamweaver 2. We deleted her other comments. Okay. Y'all don't need to worry about it. We have wonderful mods that can handle it. They know if it's something derogatory, we take it out. If they just disagree, we leave it in. Because we respect that. So in my opinion, thank you, when you have a family member was an addiction and they go through withdrawals, they're not a happy camper. They've become very belligerent, very can be violent. It's not just BK. Correct. But when he would have went through withdrawals, he was in a medical facility, a rehab. See, so he wouldn't have been having contact, because when they're in rehab, you don't get to see your family till you're good enough to be around them. And so that couldn't lead to the violence on the family. Withdrawals like that would come from rehab. You agree with Dreamweaver? Gil G74, hello. Yeah, I'm all caught up now. It was so weird watching you on double speed to catch up. I was cracking up anyway. I'm all caught up now. I should talk really fast, and then the one going that fast will be like, what the heck is she saying? I can't even keep up with what she's saying. I'm just messing with you. Hey, Tony Reed. No, Kopacker did not do it. Sorry, lovely. I shouldn't have taken those cold pills. They're for my throat, but I think they made me a little loopy today. Summer Snow, hello, my beautiful. A person such as a BK has put in 10 years of diligent study and receives a PhD program. Doesn't just throw it all away, in my opinion. I speak from personal experience on this point. Alborque, be careful. You don't want to say all losers have the right to their own opinion, because that is derogatory. And we don't allow that. I don't want you to get booted for the day. So don't say it like that. Say it nice. Everybody has their own opinion. And it's all, as long as it's on board with respect, you can tell me to kiss your butt. Just don't tell me I got like ugly face to do it. Dreamweaver, in my opinion, that's why BK probably said some not nice words directed to his family members when they took his phone. Because he had private stuff on there, like possibly his rug person. Thank you. Dreamweaver says, we've heard this all before. This author is so ridiculous. Aw, thank you, Jennifer Swain. You said great stream. And don't forget to sign the Sandra Birchmore petition. Now, thank you, Jennifer, so much. Jennifer sent me her money that she's donating to give away, as well as did too, and I've got my money. So we already have $125 to give to someone, some lucky sub. I'm just going to randomly pick one of you. Now, look over here. Whoop. Yeah. Look at that. 2,674 signatures. All free. Free to you. You can be anonymous. If you go over to Sandra Birchmore's death investigation petition. Oh, it's swollen. I mean, on the outside, too. It's like 2 big walnuts, y'all. I'm going to have to drink some honey tea. Thank you, Jennifer. I greatly appreciate that. We all do. It'll help cover some of the sound equipment. I ordered us a Blue Yeti mic. And I ordered us one of those bendable arms and then I ordered us a splash guard. I'd say spit, but I'm always spitting, so it's like a splash card. Um, and then also a little muffle over the mic that my son said I needed. But I ordered us some top of the line stuff so that my volume becomes more regulated, right? Val B, hello, lovely. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Does anyone know what ties to Idaho this author has? He went there and visited for a few weeks, and then he got COVID. That's what ties he has. He wanted to be on the ground and solve the case. Don't forget, you guys, we are ever so much getting so close. Like, our subscriber count is going up super fast. And I want to be able to give this away. All you need to enter is DVC. DVC giveaway. And be a subscriber. We're going to be doing that soon, I feel. Jennyville says Dreamweaver 2. That's because, in my opinion, he used all that's out there to write his crime fantasy. Boss, it's a plane. It's the plane. Welcome to Fantasy Island. You know what I'm saying. Jennyville, he's a Vanity Fair author and written many books. 4:44 on the clock, Sassy says. Oh, yeah. Wolfgang, I believe you're right. This is all a money grab. Wonder who sponsored his book. I heard a rumor, but this is obvious. A sick man with no morals. I hope his mother is not proud of him. I'm sure she didn't raise him like that. Gotta run. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Bo Roland, and welcome back anytime. We love you. We love you. We love you. Ah, I was like, why are all these messages not showing? But it's because those are new members. Jennyville, Jennyville. Let's see. How does that go? Jenny, Jenny, Bo, Benny, Banana, Fana, Fulfenny, Jenny. Thank you for giving us those 5 memberships. Let me get on here because I can see a lot better. Sassy, welcome back. Dreamweaver 2, welcome back. Gil G74, welcome to Starlights. Kim SM, no, I do it every time. I know I have dyslexia, but dang, your name gets me all switched. MS Kim, thank you, lovely. And Bo Roland, you are now a member. That's awesome. When you come back, you'll be a member. Thank you, Jenny. Everybody's thanking you. So, you guys, that's all for chapter 2. I did want to look at this. All right. Let me switch over. Movie time. Movie time. All right, so this was posted a while back. You probably remember this. This was by Andrea, and she says, how is Papa Rogers, supposedly Brian Kohlberger, if Papa Roger account OG has been reactivated? I just took this screenshot and this screen cap. And, then I checked the link and it's gone. But it came active after Kohlberger is sitting. So if you're going to go by all this Papa Rogers stuff as your source, how is he doing that when he's already in custody? I don't know. I'm going to write me a book. I'm just going to grab Reddit post after Reddit post, and I might even take Nancy Disgrace in the Kohlberger case and use her as a source, right? And write myself a book. I am. Sure thing. Because that way I would have no problem if this man wrote this book and he was like, here's from my perspective what took place. That would have been great. But get on these channels and say that this is fact. The way I see Kohlberger right now, he's either dead because we have the death penalty, or he's the richest man on the planet. We just don't know which yet. Oh, you can read my mind, Dreamweaver. Just off the beaten path, Karen Reed was a mistrial. A mistrial. Did y'all hear that? Mistrial. Not guilty, not acquitted, just mistrial. They can't. Hung jury, mistrial. All the work for nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Briley says, in my opinion, there are so many variables in this case. Does anyone think since Brian studied under Ramsland and the BTK, does that put any suspicion in one's mind? That is an excellent question. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm comforting my throat. Gail says, listen to this. Gail says, I'm reading the book too, Mama D. I need a daily laugh. So, tomorrow we're not going to read the book. It'll be the day after, or the day after that. We'll be on chapter 3. Because in doing the book, it opened up a whole new window of something. And I'm like, holy crap, I want to know if this person that wrote this other stuff wasn't BK. And I'm not being real detailed. I'm not giving you a lot. I'm just going to say we got to look at and see if JD wrote something. Is he insider looking outside? Is JD the one that is writing that? Because the person is very much, JD didn't do it. JD didn't do it. JD's been cleared. JD's been cleared. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, wow, this person really wants you to know. And they claim to know all these details. I really want to dig into it. Hey, Road Doc. Hello, lovely. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. You said free BK. Absolutely. Miss Anonymous says, I shouldn't say absolutely. If he really did it, I want him to be done. There's just not enough evidence to tell me he's guilty at all. But if he did do it, I want him to fry. I want whoever did it to be done. I don't want him to be able to harm anybody else. So I don't know. I believe he's innocent until somebody can prove him guilty. We haven't had a trial. How am I supposed to really know? But everything that I've been shown right now, as I know it today, if I had to make a decision right now, if I was a jury member on what I know to be true, I would say this man's 1,000% innocent. Miss Anonymous says, I'm in Massachusetts. Even if they retry her, the same outcome. The community is divided. I think you're very wise, my lovely. I believe you're right, El Borque. Money encouraged him to write the book. I think a lot of other things, too. El Borque also says, JD is clear for now. His time is coming, in my opinion. Remember to add my opinion. How many chapters in this suspicious book? All right. Those are epilogues and references and 33. And what do you get when you add 11 to 22? That's almost, to me, and I know there are some of you that are like, the Masons are all good. The Masons are all good. My grandfather was a Mason. There are a lot of good Masons. But in every culture, there is a bad and there is good. 33. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Let me clear this and get caught up because I think we're way behind. Sassy says, but now that we see the corruption in these recent cases, it makes me wonder about the past narratives we've been programmed to believe. Our blinders are off. There is no going back, right? Request, a prayer request, everybody, for Jennyville. My daughter made it home from New York City. Now Mama can breathe, and my dad turns 80 tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, Jenny's dad, and is very depressed. So thanks, prayers uplifting for my dad, please, and thank you. We send all our loving, healing energy to your dad with unconditional love, and may he have absolutely the most enjoyable day ever. Maybe do something weird for him that he doesn't usually do. If he likes ice cream, get him like 3 different kinds and make a banana split with him. Do something silly and fun. Maybe it'll cheer him up. But we send lots of love. Lots of love. All right, next question. Miss Anonymous, what company published it? Then we can look into who invests into that publisher. That's excellent. Let's check this out. HarperCollins Publishers. HarperCollins. Now, for those of you that want to be a fellow creator like me, and you're like, well, it's a copyrighted book, so I can't read anything in it. Keep in mind, if he is quoting what somebody said, you could have got that from anywhere. It wouldn't only be the book. So you can read those little tiny quotes like that. But also, it says, can't be reproduced or used in any manner whatsoever without written permission, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical articles and reviews. That's how I know I'm legal, baby, because I called a lawyer. And that's what he told me too. He said, if you're reviewing it, and make sure you put it as a review, right? He said you can use little tiny snippets, but be careful. Make sure you switch up some words and say it in your own way. Refer to him more as an author. Don't say his name. I'm like, all right, I got this. I got this. Brenda Lily. Don't ask. In my opinion, it is someone who has hate and rage and no conscience. Gail says, happy birthday, Jenny, to your dad. I will pray for him. Thank you, lovely. Steve's story is chapter 33. Don't give us a spoiler. Man, I'm doing it one chapter at a time. That's why I said we're going to be taking breaks in between. We can't be doing 33 videos in a row all about that book. I'd go crazy. But day after tomorrow, we will be back on to chapter 3. Hi, Jen. Love this channel. You are a beautiful soul. Well, thank you, lovely. I think you're all beautiful, amazing, intelligent. And I appreciate every day getting on here and getting to have people that I can converse with true crime stuff and really enjoy it. I really do. Truly. Wrote Doc said, so basically he wrote a book off fantasy and opinion. Wow. Yep, he pooped in a box and then put fact. Brenda Lily says, if Brian is found not guilty, then will they relook at all the DNA and the evidence? That's a great question. Gail G says, I was thinking about starting a channel just for this BK book and review the book as well. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, baby. I don't. I'm winging it. Sometimes you just have to get on there and realize you can't fail if you tried. Right? I mean, I'm reviewing it literally stumbling all over the place. I read the whole chapter with a marker. I highlight stuff. And then as I go through it, I'm just trying to share the basics so that you know. I'm sharing what page and what paragraph a lot, especially if it's something that they're saying. If it's a fact where he's quoting someone, I could read that little part, but most of it has to be your own opinion in a review. Plexus Val says, OMG-ish. What BS, right? Gil G says, true. All right, my lovely Luce, let me get back over to Topside. Get this all off. We're going to get ready. Oh, our song stopped. Let's play our song a minute. Where is it? Let's see. Let's get a little better. I like it. We're going to tone it down now that we're done with our yoga session. Deep, clean breath. I love you guys. You're so incredible to me. You're so generous, loving, and supportive. And I look forward to spending our days together forevermore. I will see you again tomorrow. I got a lot to unpack, and it's going to be a lot of like, what in the hell is that? Could that mean that? It's going to be a brainstorm, and I need your brain because you're the other half. You're my better half. So you show up, I'll show up. We'll go over 33 pages of Insider Looking Outsider, or whatever it's called. Inside Looking Out, Insider Looking Out. Is that what it was? I've got the 33 pages, and I really want to talk about, because I think the book kind of steered me here. And I was like, damn, this person's really got like a, I don't want to make it sound bad, but they've really got like a hard on. Sorry, for Steve G and Jack D. They're all like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And a big picture of Steve G. What? What? All right, you guys. With that, let me stop your music and get you ready for your favorite song. My headphones are sliding off my head. I love you guys incredibly much. And let's see. Closing video. Bye for now, my people.
When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. No one may ever say a thing, but surely as the seasons change, you feel like every finger points at you, 'cause you're to blame. And the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. It's gonna tell on you.